hear me. Give it a moment. Let some few people get in here. Hey, Hissy Fitz. Hey, Not Lou. How you guys doing? Bear with me as I'm trying to get a few things together here. Hey, Brutus, Brutus. Good to see you tonight. Fully envenomated. Hey, how you doing? How's things going for you, Not Lou? Okay, man, get back to me because I've got some science to drop on you. I just wasn't going to do it in public. I hope you understand. Man, Not Lou, I worked long and hard to get that down. I'll share it with you, only you. Maybe, no. People give me money or something, I may share it with them. But I'm going to share it with you, Not Lou. Hit me up on Instagram Messenger when you get a second. Let me know in the comments how hot it is where you live. I think it's like 98 or 99 here in Oklahoma. But our heat index is horrible. I mean, horrible. It's like you go outside and you just feel like the air is this heavy, heavy soup. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. Normally we spend more of this time of year here in Oklahoma on that kind of stuff. And we have like a longer hot season here in Oklahoma. This summer's been a little different. We've got more than our share of rain. And anyway, it's been an amazing hot kind of late July. Like I said, it could have been worse, but it's getting like 98 or 99 every day here. But the heat index, the humidity is like stupid. It's over 50%, some days as high as 80, 85. And it just feels like an oven. Feels like an oven outside. Hey, Ariel. How are you doing? What's the weather like in Australia, Ariel? Yeah, Brutus, I don't doubt you're probably hot as a firecracker down there. You're the one part of the country where it's hotter in Oklahoma. Let me get some water. Don't know how long we'll go tonight. Kind of gonna let the discussion see where it leads. I'm pulling up a few things on my computer. Could be worse. Yeah, 110's where SmetLogic is. Hey Rob, man, if you're out there, tune in. If not, we'll still say good things about you behind your back. I think SmetLogic had a new video drop the other day. Go check out SmetLogic. Desert Wolf did his hat giveaway today. Hope you guys got in and got a hat. I already had one. Haha. They're cool. He's going to do a new design with a new logo though, so you'll definitely want to catch that. I'm going to kind of tear into it, and I kind of am waiting for, you know, a few comments from the comment crowd about, why are you talking about palm oil and habitat loss? I kind of wanted to go into a bigger picture of what what all palm oil does, what it doesn't do, and how its habitat loss is affecting all forms of wildlife. Thank you, Fully Envenomated. Yes, please leave me a thumbs up. Definitely appreciate you guys being here. I didn't mean to come in on the tail end of the Iron Dog show. You guys support Iron Dog and Justin, my Animal House. They're good buddies of mine. I really enjoy their lives. It's just the time of year I got to go live when and where I can. It kind of stinks. Try not to step on toes, but anyway, let's get to it. Palm oil. Almost everything we consume has palm oil in it. Now, why should we care? Can anyone drop me anything in the chat? Let me know why we should care. Yeah, you do in Indonesia and Malaysia. It's a big thing there, Ariel. Thank you for tuning in, Ariel. Glad to have you here. My niece, who is in some of my videos, recently went to an elephant sanctuary where retired circus elephants go to spend their final days. It's in Hugo, Oklahoma. I can't remember the name of it. It's Forever Wild or something like that. If you go look at Elephant Sanctuary, Hugo, Oklahoma, you will find out what I'm talking about. And what this place does is they home and house large quantities of Asian elephants that were brought in to captivity for circuses. I'm not going to get into circuses and all that, animal cruelty. That's like a whole nother issue. I don't want to touch that right now. You're right, Ariel, and that's exactly where I'm going, is in Indonesia and Malaysia and places like that, palm oil harvesting is causing horrendous habitat destruction. I mean, it's why things like the Malaysian tiger is going to go extinct. The orangutan will probably go extinct if we don't act now. And the Asian elephant, the Sumatran rhino. I think the Sumatran rhino may already be extinct. Jack and Dan, good to see you guys from Ohio. Palm oil is total saturated fat and kills you anyway. Horrible stuff. People should totally boycott all products with it, and also coconut oil. Well, let me ask you about this, Jack and Dan. You guys are great with this kind of stuff. I'm glad you hopped on. I'm drinking out of a plastic cup. Was palm oil involved in the making of this plastic cup? Was it involved in the making of this bottle of my allergy medicine? Palm oil, we do not realize how much stuff we use that has palm oil in it. And I don't want to go and say palm oil is the devil. Palm oil is evil. I have Jack and Dan for that. Jack and Dan, go check out their channel. They are a great YouTube channel. Brutus, that's kind of where I'm going. But let me get back to my niece. She went to an elephant rescue in Hugo, Oklahoma, and they home elephants that really don't have anywhere else to go. After the circus uses them, there's not a lot they can do with them. So there's like this hundred thousands of acre farm down in Hugo, Oklahoma, and they take in Asian elephants. They don't take in African elephants, just Asian elephants. Um, Spot on, Ariel. So many products. And anyway, my niece comes over to visit the other day, and we're like going through pictures on her cell phone, and I'm looking at her parents, her friends. They all went down to this elephant sanctuary, and she is excited about these elephants. She's telling me all kinds of things about them, all kinds of stuff that I knew, that I used to know, that I forgot, that I relearned, and it kind of gave me a spark in my day. Desert Wolf just gave a shout out to the classic hat. Told him about your hat giveaway today. Get one before they're gone. But anyway, my niece came over, and elephants do this, they do that, da 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 da. And I'm like, it's really cool to see a young person excited about something in nature, excited about something in conservation. Hey, Immortal, glad you're here. And kind of got me thinking, that maybe I should branch out these lives a little more and talk about topics that, like palm oil and habitat loss, because a couple of lives ago, hey Autumn, how are you? A couple of lives ago, someone hit me with a question, and I realized that this was a person who watches my channel, and they're not in tune with environmental issues, but they watch my channel. So Jack and Dan, have a good evening. 4 a.m. does come quick. That's my time zone too. You guys get out there and make another great video. Check them out, Jack and Dan, if you haven't already. Amazing fish stuff, exercise stuff, diet stuff, exercise stuff, all kinds of stuff, Jack and Dan. But basically, a lot of the people, like Immortal Herper, Hissy Fitz, Brutus, Ariel, you guys are regulars. You're going to know what's wrong with palm oil. And once again, I don't want to say all palm oil is bad, because there's some good news. There's some good news at the end of the tunnel, and we're going there. But basically, right now, Java, Indonesia, Sumatra, all these little places in the Philippines, that whole area down there between mainland Asia and Australia is just literally getting devastated because of palm oil harvesting. And I don't want to bash the natives who are involved in palm oil harvesting, because they're trying to make a living with their natural resources as best they can. Just, like we do here in America, like all these other countries do. It's just they don't have a lot of stuff that really anybody has a demand for. And therein lies the problem with palm oil. Go to your refrigerator right now. Carry me with your phone. If you're watching on desktop or laptop, you can't do that. But please, do me a favor and go look at, something in your refrigerator right now. And you will find out that even if it's not on the label, palm oil is probably in 50% of everything packaged we consume. It's just very, very popular and very usable for things like frozen pizza, donuts, chocolate, candies, cookies, deodorant, shampoo, toothpaste, and lipstick. It was recently banned as being used for a biofuel in many parts of the world, not in the United Kingdom, apparently. Once again, I hope this isn't old information. I hope that I spout out something that hasn't been updated. If I do, please forgive me. What we're going to do, though, is if you walk away from this with a awareness of palm oil use, I'm going to consider that a big win. And anyway, So my niece asked me, why are the Asian elephants disappearing? We got into this whole discussion about the Asian elephants, the orangutans, airless monitor lizards, different species of snakes, all these things that are becoming endangered due to habitat loss. And it got kind of deep, and we kind of veered off into what could be done. Um, what did we use before palm oil? Good question. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know if we use Crisco, butter, something else. My honest guess is palm oil is, I know it grows very, very fast. So I want to say it's easy to get a lot of it. Um, and let me spew out some facts. Oil palm trees native to Africa were brought to Southeast Asia. Indonesia and Malaysia make up over 85% of the global supply, but there are 42 countries that also produce palm oil. And so basically, I had to break down for my niece all these different factors that are involved in habitat loss and how, like, Asian elephants are a smaller elephant species, and therefore a lot of times they hide in the forest, they hide from humans. They stay away from people if they want to live, because we all know where elephants and people meet. If you've been around, I mean, if you're aware of environmental issues, where elephants and people meet, it's just not a good situation. A lot of farmers in Africa actually shoot and kill elephants and consider them a pest because they try to raise crops and things like that. And elephants, the African elephant, will come in and trample like a bean field, tomato field, corn field. And these natives, unfortunately, that's all they have to eat. So they wind up killing elephants. And sometimes conservationists go in and try to help mitigate the damage, explain why they shouldn't kill elephants, and other things they can do to try and safeguard their crops from the elephants, things like that. And I think maybe even the World Wildlife Fund replaces some of that money for them. It's a big drawn out issue, but we kind of got into this deep conversation about habitat loss. It is the number one factor that I can think of. If there's a greater one, let me know in the comments. But it is the number one greatest factor for making any species of animal endangered, any species of plant endangered. Um, a lot of people, you know me, I'm a snake guy. Hello DEA. You know that a lot of people on this channel are snake people. We like snakes. We video snakes. We catch snakes. We release snakes. Some of us relocate snakes. I hate to see a snake killed, a snake that gets into someone's garage get chopped up. It breaks my heart to see that, because poor animal's just looking for a cool place to spend the night. He happened to go into the wrong place, which is the neighbor's garage, and they chopped him up with a shovel. That sucks. No doubt. But what is a greater threat to snakes than just us killing them? Once again, we get back to habitat loss. You can take one snake and kill it, and unless it's a highly endangered snake, something like the San Francisco garter snake, you probably wouldn't affect its population a whole lot. I live by a lake in Oklahoma, and there's a ton of copperheads around this lake. People kill them every year. They want to know if snake repellents work. This. It goes on and on every year, and everybody's like, well, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to chop him up. Okay. But you remain living by the lake. You remain living in good copperhead habitat. So nature simply makes more. I mean, let's face the facts. You can't kill off things like copperheads. I think people are trying with coyotes. I think they're finding out that's a big failure. Um, you know, kill off one pack of coyotes, and here come two more packs in to take their place. So, a lot of people sometimes show me a picture of a dead snake or tag me in a picture of a dead snake trying to get under my skin. It doesn't really work. I've seen hundreds of pictures of dead snakes. I've seen hundreds of dead snakes. Hey, Brad. What upsets me more than seeing a picture of a dead snake, which really doesn't even bother me anymore, I've seen it so much, is seeing undeveloped land get developed. Now, we're all part of the problem. We all are part of civilization. We all use retail outlets. We all use gas stations. We all live in neighborhoods that were once forests. So, don't think I'm pointing a finger without three pointing back at me. I definitely am part of the problem. You're part of the problem. We're all part of the problem. But taking an animal's habitat, digging it up, destroying it, altering it, it just really makes it hard for anything to survive there. Not a lot of species of animal get along really well next to people. I mean, this is why you simply see more critters the further you go out in the country. If you're field herping, which like people on my channel will be familiar with, people who subscribe to me, a lot of you guys are familiar with, you know as well as I do, the further you get away from the city, the more snakes, lizards, turtles, things like that you find. It just kind of happens to be a fact that, nature and humanity, they clash. So I did that video on backyard wildlife a little while back because I wanted to highlight species that did really well close to humans. And urban ecology is a fascinating area in and of itself. You stop, take a water break a second again. But back to palm oil. One of the major losses of habitat in the Asian forest is palm oil harvesting. And now there is what is it called? Roundtable of Sustainable Palm Oil. Go check it out at the World Wildlife Fund's website. Go to www.org.uk or just Google World Wildlife and palm oil. And you will find that there is a roundtable of sustainable palm oil, which is a gathering of companies and stakeholders. It was formed in 2004. And what these people on this roundtable have done is they've made a commitment to use palm oil from locations where it can be sustainably farmed and produced without altering the environment. Really makes me happy to see this because this is a win for people. This is a win for the environment. This is a win for all the inhabitants of nature. We don't tear up new land to farm and get what we need. And, we still give resources to indigenous peoples. And they get to meet that demand that's on the world market for palm oil. So, as of the making of this website, go to rspo.org. I might put this in the description after this live. Right now, oh boy. Right now, if I'm reading this graph right, 19% of the palm oil used in the world is certified by the Roundtable of Palm Oil. And once again, these are the good guys. These are the people we want to support. They are developing new strategies for growing palm oil plants, palm oil trees. They're following things all the way through the supply chain. Trying to look for some companies that you could support. Um, Not finding any right off the top. But hang on, I've got something else going. Um, and once again, another question is why not use just some other vegetable oil, such as sunflower, soybean, rapeseed oil? And basically, the reason for not going to those is because it would take even more land and cause even more environmental damage to use, another type of oil. So, which brings us right back to palm oil. Palm oil is definitely um, unique as far as its properties in food. Some people might kind of challenge that, and I welcome any and all comments. Um, and this is another point, which is a great point that we need to think about. Instead of demonizing palm oil, we need to think about our usage because millions of farmers, their families, work in the palm oil sector. It's a palm oil usage, even though it's destructive to the environment, causes a reduction of poverty in places like Indonesia, places like Malaysia. Um, Over 4 million people earn a living from palm oil production. And once again, these are places where there isn't a lot of industry, there isn't a lot of agriculture. So these people, they need jobs, they need resources too. Um, and there's also another group of people, the Certified Sustainable Palm Oil Committee, where they also work to further the work at the roundtable, which is to go out and get other companies on board with using and marketing sustainable palm oil. And I've seen a little bit about these guys. What I've seen in films that we had to watch in college and things was that they would, approach companies like Nestle, like Bisquick, people like that, Betty Crocker, all these different companies that use palm oil in some form or fashion in their ingredients. And they would say, hey, get your palm oil over here. This place raises it in a place where it's sustainable. And they really do a lot of the legwork to go out and bring palm oil, usage to companies that need to use it, but however, they do it in an environmentally safe and environmental friendly way. One thing about palm oil and its usage that is horrifying is there's a lot of wildlife in southeastern Asia that occurs nowhere else on Earth. Certain species of lizards, certain species of snake, certain species of primates, all kinds of birds. And we all know that if the forest dies, they die with it. They don't survive where they're not going to have habitat to use. So, having said that, I think we kind of owe it to them to look at our cabinets, look at our tables, look at our charts, pull this stuff up on the internet. We spend half our day on the internet, literally half our day on the internet. I would be convinced. You would have a hard time convincing me it's not more than half our day. But I would say I spend a good half my day on the internet easily, and that's even on a slow day. Use it to do some of this research. There's some good alternatives and things out there. There are just there's organizations that are working to help people farm palm oil, and that way they keep their agricultural business going, but they also take into concerns wildlife and habitat loss, habitat destruction, and they fight against it. Um, Once again, the human population is growing, the global food demand is growing, food prices need to be kept affordable, and palm oil is fairly inexpensive as far as the other types of things that we could replace it with. Um, Once again, Jack and Dan came in earlier and hit a nutritional slant. We're talking about, why they didn't use palm oil. Definitely get a lot of good dietary stuff from those guys over at Jack and Dan. But basically, these organizations are working with other organizations in the United States, organizations in the United Kingdom, and they're trying to bring people into using sustainable palm oil. So that way we leave the forest. We don't have to cut down forests to set up palm oil plantations, things like that. To me, it's very important because, once again, there's a lot of things that cause wildlife to become endangered, to go extinct. Overharvesting has got some species, pollution has got others. Some species just sadly go extinct because they don't have a wide geographical area. Here in the United States, and one issue that I'm really familiar with is the commercial rattlesnake harvesting issue. And I was talking to a friend of mine the other night who was on another platform. The guy did not know I was into rattlesnakes, and he actually got bit by one. And he starts telling me about how, where he's at, he sees a lot of these eastern diamondbacks. He's in Florida, and the eastern diamondback rattlesnake has been almost obliterated throughout much of its native original range. They used to go as far west as into Louisiana and all the way up to North Carolina. And there's just pockets of them left. And what we know is throughout the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s even, up until very recently, thousands of eastern diamondbacks were harvested for, the leather trade, things like that. But you contrast that with the western diamondback, and they have a range where they've been hunted, they've been commercially collected for since going back to the late 1930s, probably earlier with the advent of Western civilization moving through this part of the country. But they still have a lot of native habitat here today. They still have a lot of land in Oklahoma and Texas, New Mexico, California, uh, Mexico, the country, south of the border, where they still live and have a lot of room to hang out and be rattlesnakes. The eastern diamondback is facing another issue in that 300-400 people a day move to Florida, which is one of its last strongholds. There's populations in South Carolina, Georgia, maybe still some in North Carolina that I haven't heard about. Venom Wonderful, you're here, you're from Georgia. What all states do the eastern diamondback still exist in? I would love to know. I would love to know if there's any as far west as Mississippi. I know there's some populations in Alabama, but anyway, that's something I would be kind of a little interested in knowing more about. Guess I could pull up a range map, but I've got so many other things pulled up right now. I'm not going to do that. Hey Squatch, hey Venom, hey Snakes on the Plains. Glad you all could stop in, visit with me tonight. Hey Iron Dog, good to have you by tonight. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to do this live on sustainable palm oil because once again, I, had caught a comment on one of my older videos, and it dawned on me that there are people that do not know about this environmental issue or that environmental issue. And my video, just even referencing it, made them aware of that issue. And so once again, this isn't going to be my best live. It's not going to be my most well versed issue that I can speak on, but I will say this: it's definitely a fascinating area worth checking out. Um, there are things online like palm oil calculators, things like that, where you can um, where you can load up a grocery receipt or enter the amount of items that you buy, the amount of frozen pizzas that you buy, the amount of candy bars that you buy, and it'll kind of convert it and tell you how much palm oil is used in the making of that and how that factors environmentally. Now, to me, it's very fascinating. It's not an area of specialty for me. I honestly know quite a bit more about things like water quality, conservation, water pollution, things like that. I'm more of a water and air guy as far as what I kind of did my dissertations in, things like that. But, it's a very, very fascinating area to research because what you will find out is we've knocked down a lot of Asian rainforest to produce palm oil. And now maybe we spend a little bit more money. Maybe we buy something that costs, 5, 8% more, maybe 10% more. I don't know. But there's ways around it. There's another way to do things. And we can definitely improve the situation globally for animals, for wildlife, for the environment, and for people. And people profit planet. I mean, it's a good thing when everybody wins. And if you use sustainable palm oil, you move us all towards that winning goalpost. Um, some people might say it's a controversial issue. To me, there's not much controversy to it. We know that when we destroy habitat, animals sadly are on the losing end of that. And as human populations continue to grow and grow, we're going to sadly lose more species, and the amount of wildlife you should really look at and take away from this. Venom Wonderful. I don't know that they can pay me enough. Thank you for the thought, though. But you should really look up Indonesian wildlife. Just do a Google search for Indonesian wildlife. The Indonesian islands is this area of islands where it's very dense forested habitat. A lot of biodiversity exists there that exists nowhere else on Earth. I mean, there's, like the earless monitor lizards of Borneo. Once again, they're only found there. There's a lot of other species like green tree pythons. They're only found there. I don't want to get like too deep into it, but you know, anytime you can take a situation and make it better for people and the planet, to me, that's winner in my book. Definitely happy to see us moving in that direction. I kind of hope it's not too late. Yes, Brutus Brutus, roll out some horned lizard videos, please. We need to see some horned lizards. I'd like to video some of those myself someday because they used to be very, very common all over the entire state of Oklahoma in the 70s. And then, like, starting in the probably mid 80s, you started not seeing them. And now they're almost impossible to find east of I 35, which splits the state in half. And once again, we don't really know what all got them. There's a lot of different theories floating around about the horned lizards, the Texas horned lizards, and why they disappeared. Um, some people say it's the invasive fire ants. Other people are saying it's, pesticides. Some people are saying it's Bermuda grass, which is a non-native, and that got brought in and replaced the old grass. I can't remember what it was called, the exact species, but either way, we see very few horned lizards these days in parts of Oklahoma where they used to be just very common. Um, I remember just going into soccer fields, and you would find 5, 10 of them in a soccer field, and they would just be picking off harvester ants right and left. You don't see that around anymore. It's really hard to find them. Um, well, Brutus. I kind of sympathize along the same things, but what science has learned is that they don't seem to be able to tolerate eating the fire ants and some of the other species of ants. So when the fire ants pushed out the harvester ants, it seems to be, I want to say it's something chemical in their makeup that the horned lizards derive something nutritionally from that the fire ants can provide. But I have no doubt that it's a combination of factors, Brutus, because, you know, there's all these factors that we control, like habitat fragmentation, habitat destruction, which once again was why I was doing this live and why I kind of gave it a palm oil slant, is, we have to think about land we develop. We have to think about the environmental cost. And we have to look at, what does this affect? If we put a new plant at this into town, is it going to affect this? Is it going to affect that? These are questions we need to be asking ourselves. And once again, a lot of people watching this live already aware of this kind of stuff. Um, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you stopped by. Don't get me wrong. No QT. No QT right now. All I've got is water. No QT. Thanks, Wolf. But yeah, he's must have banned you from there. I think they're working on it. I think they're working on it. But I kind of came to the realization a little while back that people who aren't environmentally savvy watch my videos and watch my lives, watch my snake videos. Um, I've tried to build relationships with creators of other niches, um, because for that very reason, so I could get some diversity in my viewing audience. So, like, there are people, musicians that I follow, there are people who do home crafts that I follow. Ariel, who's in the chat, she does cooking videos. Um, she does cooking videos, and once again, not something I'm personally into, but I follow her channel. I watch her videos. Squatchy, I don't drink sweet tea. I drink unsweet tea. And tonight, just doing water. But I don't purport to have all the answers. I don't, I can't say there's any one single fix for any of these problems. Um, what I can say is think about it. Do some Google searches. Log on, look out there, see what you can find. Because a lot of times you will find one issue that, like, maybe you can't do anything about this or you don't use that product, but this product has a sustainable palm oil alternative or something of that nature. Yeah, I see you guys in chat. Yeah, I'm going to bust some chops later over this. Um, the gout's treating me okay, Desert. It's pretty much been over it for about a solid week now. I would say it really hung on a long time. that last go around. Okay, we know what Venom Wonderful is doing at Quick Trip tonight. You got that 5-7 waiting, I know. Man, it gets to hurting like that again, bro. I may take you up on that. I look forward to seeing you soon, Desert Wolf. Man, I'm glad I got to shout out your hats earlier. I'm glad you did the giveaway. Who won? I didn't catch that. Let me know in the comments who won. And also, like, if you send me a link to that channel, I was on the road when your giveaway was going on. Send me a link to that channel and I'll go hit her channel and subscribe. Judy Hallmark. Okay. How to equal soccer trip. Where are you at? Snakes on the Plains. Waiting for some time to free up. When's the next time you're going out? Snakes on the Plains. Squatchy. Brutus. Hissy Fit. Snotloo. Do you want to see a Snakes on the Plains and Todd Autry collaboration? We're trying to make it happen. Hit the like button, and we'll see if we can make that. We'll see if we can make that a go. Yeah, Ariel, that's just what I was getting at. Is if you support other channels, you bring other people to your channel, and then you bring awareness of these issues to them. I am far from a, you know, palm oil expert. I've read and seen enough to know that what's going on with the environment, things, you know, elephants, tigers, all kinds of birds, all kinds of lizards, turtles, snakes in Southeast Asia are losing their habitat due to palm oil. I'm going to approve this message. Hey, Mind, look at Desert Wolf's comment. Hit me up later in Messenger, Mind, if you have any problems, because I can help you to connect. I think he's got a new hat coming out, if I heard all that correctly, with this new logo. So I'm really happy I've got one of the vintage ones. I'm going to get out of here pretty quick. I just kind of tried to fit this live in tonight from where I was with everything I had going on today. And, you know, and once again, someone asked me earlier in another live, why don't you ever announce your lives? And I'm like, gosh, sadly, I never know when I'm going live. If I could have like a scheduled time, I probably would. Life's thrown me a lot of curveballs right now. I've been trying to hook up with Snakes on the Plains for 2 solid months, and I had a nasty case of gout come on, and actually had to struggle to get through that. And now it's like when my gout's gone, we're deep in the heat of summer, and it's very, very rough road cruising for Snakes. But I know Snakes on the Plains has got roads. I know he's got some good roads, so I'm definitely going to hook up with him and look for a video collab coming soon. Hopefully we just all film the same trip, and hopefully we find a lot of stuff, and then we put out our own version of of what happens with our own spin on it, and we premiere the videos on the same day. Snakes on the Plains. Let's make that happen. Thanks, Ariel, for that information. Jennifer Allen, I appreciate you stopping by. People tune into these. It makes it worth doing. I don't do the best live. I'm not the best show host. I don't, you know, I don't use the finest English and all that. Hey, Mr. J. But what I can do is I can impart information. I can get it out there, and hopefully some other people start thinking about these issues. Snakes on the Plains. It says Saga Fest. I saw something else. Let your mind. You know what that looked like, bro. That was funny. You got to get Pimby on board too, man. Dude, if I get down there and Pimby's not there, I mean, I don't know. I always thought Pimby would be a blast in the field. Check out my friends at Snakes on the Plains. He does video, and he's coming along in his video production. He's doing some great snake videos, Texas and Oklahoma. but the guy does some amazing photographs. Check out Snakes on the Plains on Instagram and on YouTube. Hi, Brad Clark. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying, Snakes? You know what that looked like? Saga Fest. Bam. Oh, thank you, Ariel, for the comments. I felt like this one got off to a rough start, and then I haven't said hello to Mr. J. Mr. J, I love you, man. I'm glad you're here in my live tonight. Yeah, Snakes on the Plains. I think he does the best photos. Him and a guy named Tyler Albertson in Oklahoma. And he's at Oklahoma or Oklo Wild on Instagram. Guy we know named Tyler Albertson, supreme photographer, does absolutely no video. Snakes on the Plains does both, and he's doing great at both. Whereas I feel like I do pretty good on my rattlesnake videos, my herping videos. I really stink at photography. That is one area that that's another reason why I'm going to go out in the field with Snakes on the Plains, so I can like hijack all his tricks. And you know, and he knows I'm setting it up that way, and it's good. We're buddies. He's good with it. But yeah, Oklahoma Wild on Instagram. Tyler Albertson. Seriously, he is one of the greatest wildlife photographers I think the state has seen. If I didn't like him, I would still say that. Seriously. He's someone worth checking out. Check out Snakes on the Plains on Instagram and on YouTube, and Oklo Wild on Instagram. You will not regret that. If you like the content on my channel, you will not regret following those two accounts. Anyway, guys, we're running about 50 minutes. I came in a little unprepared, didn't have the information I wanted to in front of me. I may revisit this topic later. I may keep or I may delete this live, so please watch it while you can if you're going to hit back on it. But palm oil usage, something I can control what I do. You can control what you do. Google it, think about it, read something. You know, do something for the planet today. Let me put that out there, and let me just kind of let that be the final message. You know, think about what you can do for the planet today, and research sustainable palm oil. If you go to Google and you just put those 3 words in and hit enter, you will come up with products where they're trying to do things better. You will come up with companies where they're trying to do things better. And then we're going to save more of that habitat for those really cool elephants that my niece likes so much. We're going to save the habitat for the orangutans and the snakes that I like so much. Thanks to mine for stopping in. I might hit you up on Messenger later. Folks, have a good evening. And remember, just do a little research on this, and it will take you a long way, and you will realize we're using palm oil in things that you just wouldn't have thought about. All I can do is spread a little awareness. I've got like 20 thumbs up, 12 watching now. This wasn't a huge live. I didn't expect to compete with Iron Dog, because you know Iron Dog. Dude hogs up all YouTube, for those 2 hours. But he puts on a great live, so go figure. And I'm going to rewatch his later. Ariel, I caught yours earlier. Desert Wolf, I caught yours earlier. Mr. J, I've got 1 or 2 videos to catch up on for you. But gang, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Sustainable palm oil. Look it up and see what you can do. See what products you use. Contact them. If they're not using sustainable palm oil, contact them and say, hey, make the switch. These other companies are doing it. And let's save some elephants. Let's save some monkeys. And when we do that, we save the forest. We save the snakes, which is what's really important. But anyway, guys, thank you all for stopping by. It means the world to me. I don't have this huge audience, but I have this loyal audience. So that's kind of made me enjoy doing the lives. I hated them when I first started doing them. I really struggled with even putting B-roll of myself in one of my field herping videos. But the lives have been pretty interactive. There's been some good information come out of them. So thank you guys for stopping by. Jennifer Allen, thank you. Snakes on the Plains, thank you. Nikki, thank you. Brad, Mr. J, Amand, everybody, thanks for watching this. Man, go to Google right after this live. Go to Google, sustainable palm oil, enter, and do your part to help make the world a better place. Thank you for watching.